At the opening ceremony of the Paris Olympics, what many anticipated to be a celebration of sports and global unity turned out to be an event filled with unsettling symbolism. The appearance of the White Horseman of the apocalypse left the audience bewildered, questioning whether it was just an artistic performance or a ritual laden with hidden meanings. The sight of the horseman walking on the waters of the Seine River, mounted on a mechanical horse, evoked interpretations that extended beyond mere entertainment. The use of such charged symbols like the horseman and the metal horse did not go unnoticed. Many wondered if this portrayal could be hinting at the arrival of a new world order, a global leadership that asserts itself in an almost supernatural manner. The idea that a group is manipulating global events to fulfill biblical prophecies or predetermined scripts gains traction among those interpreting the event through a conspiratorial lens. This grand opening, with all its pomp and circumstance, can be seen as a metaphor for the growing power of technology and the centralization of power dominating nations. The mechanical horseman, a symbol of technological dominance, leading the nations towards the Eiffel Tower, might represent global acceptance of a new leadership, challenging the established order. The image of a white flag, typically a symbol of peace, being raised upside down, reinforces the notion that we are entering a period of disorder and crisis. The audience was left with the impression that this was not a traditional Olympic celebration, but something deeper and more disturbing. The figure of the White Horseman emerging over the waters of the Seine represents more than just a theatrical display. It symbolizes a leadership that appears almost divine, suggesting an ability to transcend human and natural limitations. By appearing over water, an element often associated with the unknown and mysterious, the horseman creates an image of absolute and unquestionable power, as if mastering a realm typically beyond human reach. The choice of a mechanical horse rather than a live animal adds a layer of complexity to the symbolism. This can be seen as a reflection of our technological era, where mechanization and artificial intelligence, AI, begin to surpass and replace traditional human capabilities. This choice of representation may serve as a warning about humanity's growing dependence on technology to solve global issues, even as we drift away from genuine human interactions. The nations following the horseman towards the Eiffel Tower highlight a global movement of acceptance and adherence to this new order. The tower, an iconic symbol of Paris and a beacon of modernity and progress, becomes the focal point of this march, suggesting that traditional structures of power and governance are being redefined. This movement can be understood as a centralization of power, where crucial decisions affecting everyone are made by a small group with global influence. At the end of the White Horseman's march, a symbolic moment occurred. The white flag, traditionally an emblem of peace and unity, was raised upside down. This seemingly simple yet laden gesture subverted what many saw as a symbol of celebration and hope. Instead, the act suggested an inversion of the values that the flag is supposed to represent, casting doubt on the intentions of those orchestrating the ceremony. The hoisting of the flag upside down, handed over to military leaders present at the ceremony, can be interpreted as a distress signal. In many cultures, an inverted flag is a sign of distress, a call for help, or an indication that something is seriously wrong. This symbolism, in an event watched by millions around the world, raises questions about the current and future state of international relations and global peace. This act can also be viewed as a critique of using the symbolism of peace to mask more sinister intentions. The horseman, initially appearing to herald a new era of leadership and hope, delivering the inverted flag, might suggest that promises of peace and unity are superficial, concealing a reality of disorder and manipulation. The inversion of the flag serves as a visual reminder that not everything is as it seems, and we must be vigilant about the true meanings behind gestures and symbols. The presence of the White Horseman at the opening ceremony of the Paris Olympics sparked numerous interpretations and theories. Dressed in white and silver attire, he evoked a figure that many associated with concepts of purity, leadership, and even messianism. The choice of colors, typically linked to peace and light, contrasted with the unsettling actions and darker symbolism of the event, creating a mystery around his true nature and intentions. This horseman can be seen as a personification of the forces shaping the contemporary world, whether in the form of political, technological, or ideological leaders. His march towards the Eiffel Tower, followed by a multitude of nations, symbolizes the leadership power that mobilizes and directs global actions. However, the representation of a mechanical horseman and the choice of metallic attire suggest a departure from traditional humanity, emphasizing the cold and calculated nature of modern leadership, potentially influenced by advanced technologies and AI. The impact of this figure on the global audience was profound, prompting reflection on the paths humanity is taking. The image of the horseman, along with symbols of power and control, resonated with many as a warning about the centralization of power and the loss of individual and national autonomy. The lingering question is whether this new leadership, symbolized by the horseman, represents a hope for a better future or a veiled threat to free will and global peace. The choice of the Eiffel Tower as the culminating point of the ceremony carries profound symbolism. This iconic Parisian structure is not only an architectural landmark, but also a symbol of modernity, progress, and unification. However, during the ceremony, the Eiffel Tower took on a new role, becoming the point of convergence for the nations led by the White Horseman. This movement suggests a reinterpretation of the monument, now as a center of global power and influence. The march of the horsemen and the nations towards the Eiffel Tower can be seen as a metaphor for the modern world, where old power structures are being redirected and centralized into new epicenters. The tower, traditionally representing the Enlightenment spirit and the Age of Reason, is here associated with a new kind of leadership, potentially more authoritarian and centralized. This symbolism may reflect the growing concentration of power in the hands of a few, whether in political, economic, or technological realms. Furthermore, the Eiffel Tower, with its height and visibility, serves as a beacon, a point of reference that attracts attention and directs the gaze of the entire world. This choice underscores the idea that decisions made in certain power centers have global implications. The image of nations converging on the tower can be viewed as a representation of globalization and increasing interdependence, but it also raises questions about the loss of cultural identity and autonomy in favor of a homogeneity controlled by superior powers. The mechanical horse that carried the White Horseman during the opening ceremony of the Paris Olympics is a potent and meaningful symbol. In an event typically celebrating the human spirit, the choice of a machine over a living being for such a central role makes a powerful statement about the current state of the world. This metal horse not only replaces the traditional symbol of nobility and strength, but also suggests a substitution of the natural with the artificial, a metaphor for the increasing influence of technology in our lives. The presence of the mechanical horse can be interpreted as a critique or warning about the dehumanization and mechanization of society. As technology advances, there's a tendency towards excessive dependence and reliance on artificial systems, often at the expense of genuine human interactions and connection with the natural world. This metal horse, therefore, is not just a piece of spectacle but a representation of how technology can become an intermediary between us and the world, distancing us from authentic experiences. Moreover, the mechanics of the horse suggest a cold and calculated efficiency, contrasting with the unpredictable and lively nature of living animals. This can be seen as a metaphor for how modern power structures, often supported by advanced technologies, operate in an impersonal and relentless manner. The mechanical horse, in carrying the White Horseman, not only physically transports the leader, but also symbolizes how power and authority today are frequently driven and sustained by technological forces rather than traditional human values. The opening ceremony of the Paris Olympics, with its enigmatic and unsettling symbols, can be seen as a contemporary representation of the events prophesied in the Bible's book of Revelation. The image of the White Horseman, riding a mechanical horse, evokes the first of the four horsemen of the apocalypse, symbolizing conquest and the rise of a new power. In the biblical context, this horseman is often interpreted as a harbinger of catastrophic events, signaling the beginning of significant changes and tribulations. The use of technology and mechanization, embodied by the metal horse, can be read as a commentary on humanity's evolution towards a future where the natural is increasingly supplanted by the artificial. This transformation, reflected in the centralization of power and globalization, can be seen as a modern manifestation of the end times, where humanity moves away from traditional and spiritual values, entering an era of uncertainty and technological control. The inversion of the white flag, traditionally a symbol of peace into a signal of disorder, reinforces the idea that we are living in prophetic times. In Revelation, such signs are seen as precursors to great trials and final judgment. Thus, the ceremony not only presented an artistic vision but also served as a mirror to our times, reflecting fears and anxieties about the future of humanity and its spirituality. As we contemplate these images and their meanings, we are prompted to consider our role in this changing world. Are we approaching the events described in the scriptures? How can we navigate this path of technology and global power without losing our spiritual and human essence? And if you've made it this far, we have an exclusive ebook that combines the depth and wisdom of the scriptures with stunning illustrations that bring ancient stories and teachings to life. Perfect for readers of all ages, this work is ideal for both those discovering the Bible for the first time and those seeking a new perspective on familiar texts. Access the link in the first comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to keep up with analyses like this one, exploring the deeper meanings behind the events shaping our world.